Hey, it's your girl TooDopeForRehab, and you know what I've been thinking about? Nipsey Hussle. Today makes about a year that the world had to sit with the fact that he was gone. I know the 31st was the day that he actually passed or took his last breath, but I think the 1st of April was the day that the world sat with the fact that we lost this figure who done so much for his community, meant so much to the people who loved him, meant so much to his friends. And I think we had this realization that we were sleeping on a gem that had been with us for so long. And when I think about that, it's the 4th month of one of the craziest years in history, and it's a time for reflection. We've already lost a great this year, Kobe Bryant and his daughter, and I think that it's making me really understand death in a very different way. Oftentimes we think about death in a really sad thing, like it's a very sad thing, like we're hurt by this. And it's not to say that you shouldn't be hurt, but it's like when people pass, it's like they break open, they break others open. There's like this godliness that's within all of us, and sometimes the people who are on this earth who are living a little bit closer to God, it's like those are the people, unfortunately, we lose so that everybody else can break open and tap into their own godliness, that you begin to understand their work ethic. When I think about Kobe, yes, maybe some people might say he was the greatest player of all time, but other people focus on other people, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, but his work ethic was unmatched. His mentality was unmatched. The fact that he had to keep pushing and keep moving forward was something that was only accessible to the people who really tapped into him. But his passing allowed for Jenny down the block and Miss Betty Bakerson to be able to tap into what did this man really mean? What did he stand for? What was his work ethic? What's his routine? How did he pour into the people he loved? And same goes for Nipsey Hussle. Like, yes, there are so many parallels with him and Jesus Christ, and the way that it felt when he left is beyond me. However, I think deeper than anything, it was like this unconditional love, this adventure, this sense of godliness that man had, that I think that it was able to open everybody else up to a certain Christ consciousness, that you can love your brother more than you love yourself. You can have all the riches in the world, that you can give back to your community, and more importantly, that our humanity is so complicated. Our humanity is complicated. There are things that we have done in our past that we've grown from that we might not be so proud of, and there are things that there's so much that we can do in our future. And I really hope that today and every other day that we really appreciate life, like celebrate life right now. I don't know, I've been thinking about like my next birthday or something being like a funeral theme, and I know that sounds eerie, but like in a way that we really think about people's accomplishments and all that they've done for us and others on their death day. I think we should really do that on their birthday, so that people can know how much you mean to them right now. Yeah, this is just a message that I really wanted to just spread. And the last thing that I want to say is that oftentimes when we think about death and we grieve our loved ones, I saw somewhere that when you grieve your loved ones in a way where you don't let them go and you're holding on to that pain, you're not allowing them to work for you on the other side, right? Energy is not created or destroyed, it's only transferred. And when it's transferred, when those people with that big energy, with that godliness within them, when they burst open and transfer that energy to you, when they pass over, they can transfer that energy to you, and you and of yourself can blossom in ways that are just unimaginable. I lost a friend of mine last year, and I think that he was along the same lines of just, same with Shindo, and along the same lines of just being a light in this world, loving the people he touched, transforming the way that they interacted with the world just based on who he was. And so sometimes I know that it's difficult to lose people, but at the end of the day, death is a part of life, and if we embrace it as a friend, and I know this sounds wild, it will be kind to us, and it doesn't take away the hurt or the pain. But I hope that we all have peace beyond understanding. Prayers and blessings to Lauren London and her family. I can't imagine what you guys are going through. Just a person outside looking in is heartbroken for the family, but in addition to, I'm very thankful that God allowed us all to be able to witness this man while he was around. So thank you guys. That's all I had to say. All right, peace.
Death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it. And that is as it should be, because death is very likely the single best invention of life. It's life's change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new. Right now, the new is you. But someday, not too long from now, you will gradually become the old and be cleared away. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. Stay hungry, stay foolish. It was their farewell message as they signed off. And now, I wish that for you. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Thank you all very much.